Hey, what's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna react to Nonstop. Why Michael Jordan hated Jerry Krause. But let's get into a reaction. Yo, Jerry Krause was a hater, bro.
As a whole win. Jerry Krause, the Bulls general manager, says, quote, organizations win titles, not players, end quote.
Nigga was hating, bro. Nigga was a hater.
So that you could be a profitable organization.
Michael Jordan hated Bulls general manager Jerry Krause so much he nearly left Chicago and blamed him for blowing up the Bulls in 1998. But why did Jordan dislike his GM so much? Even after they won 6 championships together.
Bro.
This is the complete story of the beef between MJ and one of the most successful general managers of all time. Jerry Krause was a scouting legend. He was the first and only executive in 2 different sports, having dual careers in basketball and baseball. Jerry's NBA career started in the 1960s as a scout for the Baltimore Bullets, and Krause immediately made a name for himself. In 1965 and 1967, Krause found 2 future Hall of Famers from low-division programs in Jerry Sloan and Earl the Pearl Monroe. After Baltimore, Krause worked as a scout for the Suns, 76ers, Lakers, and Bulls throughout the 70s and 80s. During that time, Krause was a baseball scout for the Cleveland Indians, the Oakland A's, the Seattle Mariners, and the Chicago White Sox. Krause was often viewed as the hardest-working scout in sports, a guy who spent all of his time watching ball players and evaluating talent. In 1985, after the Chicago White Sox owner Jerry Reinsdorf also bought the Chicago Bulls, he plucked Krause from the White Sox staff and handpicked him to become the new general manager of the Bulls. Despite his experience, Krause had an extremely tough challenge ahead. What Krause inherited was Michael Jordan and the flying cocaine circus that were the majority of his teammates. Bulls sucked with 4 consecutive losing seasons and a 38-44 record in Jordan's rookie season. However, the first move Krause made wasn't to draft any player, but a coach. Jerry hired Tex Winter as an assistant coach because he wanted Winter to teach the Bulls the infamous triangle offense.
The first person we hired was Tex Winter. He's a brilliant man, the finest offensive mind in basketball.
He then signed John Paxson and traded for Charles Oakley, who would both prove to be extremely important figures for the Bulls and Michael Jordan. But as soon as Krause's first season as GM started, the problems did too. Jordan broke his ankle in the 3rd game of the 1986 season and was ruled out for several months. As stubborn as Jordan was, he was soon playing pickup games in North Carolina, while the Bulls' doctor said he still faced a great risk of re-injuring his foot. So when Michael returned to the lineup, Krause limited his minutes, making him play just 7.5 minutes per half, carrying a stopwatch and signaling to the coaches when to sub him out. Jordan was pissed by not playing and confronted Krause about his playing time. "I'm the only person in the NBA who has ever told him no. This kid has had his butt kissed by every..."
Honestly, bro, I don't blame Jerry Krause for that. Cause bro, if you our team star, bro, I need you to be healthy, bro. I can't have you out here re-injuring your fucking foot again. So, hey, okay, Jerry Krause.
The only person in the NBA who has ever told him no. This kid has had his butt kissed by everybody in the world except his parents and me. My goal is not to be his friend. My goal is to win titles. Jerry Krause. But Krause sticking to the doctor's orders and making Jordan play limited minutes was not the real problem. For Jordan, it wasn't just what Krause said, it was also the way he said it. Your Bulls property now, and we tell you what to do. Krause.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Your Bulls property now? That's crazy. And saying that to a black man? That's crazy.
Your Bulls property now, bro. And we tell you what to do. Krause. To make things worse, the Bulls GM showed up to a team meeting about Jordan and his playing time with a tape recorder, where Jordan felt betrayed and completely lost trust in Krause. "I was a young, enthusiastic kid.
Tape recorder.
That just made me realize
Goddamn
this was a
wiretap?
business, not a game. We never hit it off after that." Jordan. After that season ended, it was time for the 1986 draft.
Jerry Krause said that shit.
Krause and Jordan
done
worse. Krause planned on selecting forward Brad Sellers in the draft. Jordan, on the other hand, pushed management to take Johnny Dawkins, a 2-way guard from Duke. Krause told everybody that he would draft Dawkins, but on the day of the draft, he picked Sellers anyway. Jordan was livid, and he made Sellers' life hell in practice, going mercilessly at the poor guy just because he was Krause's pick. But the very next year, in the 1987 NBA draft, Krause showed why he was the right man for the job. While the rest of the GMs didn't bother finding talent in Division III universities, Krause's specialty was believing in underdogs, because he was an underdog all his life. Jerry Krause was the only NBA executive who scouted Scottie Pippen from the small University of Central Arkansas. "When I first saw Scottie play, I almost had an orgasm," Krause said.
The Seattle Supersonics select Scott Pippen, a
Scott Pippen.
Krause was devastated when the Seattle Supersonics drafted Pippen fifth. But then he traded the 8th pick in the draft, Olden Polynice, and future assets to get Scotty.
Technically, the Seattle club took him for us, and then we acquired him.
Krause also drafted Horace Grant, another future cornerstone of the franchise, thus completing one of the best drafts ever by an NBA GM. While Jordan couldn't be unhappy with Jerry's choices, Krause soon gave him another reason to hate him. In the 1988 season, the Bulls GM traded Charles Oakley to the Knicks for inexperienced center Bill Cartwright. Oakley was Jordan's best friend on the team and his protector on the court, especially against the bad boy Pistons. Although Cartwright did not have Oakley's toughness and rebounding, he was a more well-rounded scorer and playmaker, and was precisely what the Bulls needed. Jordan despised the Oakley trade, not only because he lost his best friend, but also because of how he and Oak found out on TV. Around that time, Jordan started openly mocking Krause in front of teammates and the media. He and Oakley nicknamed him Crumbs because of his size, and after they'd seen him with crumbs of food on his shirt. When Michael came across Krause in the hallway, he didn't say hello to him and kept trash-talking him directly and indirectly. In 1989, after the Bulls lost another playoff battle with the Pistons, Krause fired head coach Doug Collins, which was another move Jordan hated because he had a great relationship with Collins.
Now, if you're getting ready for work right now, then you're probably not Doug Collins. Chicago Bulls head coach was fired in a surprise move yesterday.
MJ rightfully...
Amen. Honestly, I'm getting Jordan perspective, bro, because from what I'm hearing, everything, like, this man, Jerry Krause, was been doing this man, Jordan, dirty, filthy, bro, like, doing shit behind his back, fucking talk to him crazy, like, no wonder Jordan fucking hate this nigga. The only thing that I agree with him with is the fucking, is limiting his minutes because doctor's orders and shit, but it's like, that line that he said, though, is crazy, saying, you Bulls property and shit. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, bro, you lost me. Then trading his best friend Oakley, it's like, damn. And firing a coach that he fuck with, it's like,
felt he was the best player in the NBA.
It's like, bro,
he should have
supposed to be the star of your team, bro.
So
you treated me like
went
this.
To the owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, with the ultimatum: him or me, wanting Krause fired. However, Reinsdorf believed in Krause and asked Jordan to be patient. Phil Jackson became the next Bulls coach, despite having zero experience as an NBA head coach. Jackson previously coached the minor league Albany Patroons and a pair of teams in Puerto Rico, with NBA teams refusing to take a chance on him, largely because of his hippie clothes and offbeat principles. In 1987, when Jackson was considering filing for unemployment or going back to law school, he reached out to Krause as a last-ditch effort to keep his coaching dream alive. Krause hired him as an assistant. Because Phil was willing to implement the triangle offense and get the ball out of Jordan's hands, Krause believed he was the perfect man for the job. It's safe to say that Jackson would never become an NBA coach if it weren't for Krause, something that would later ruin their relationship. But at first, Phil and Jerry had an excellent partnership, especially because the Bulls started winning. In Phil's second season as a head coach, the Bulls finished with the best record in the NBA, and they finally got over the Pistons hump. And then in the NBA Finals, they defeated the Lakers for their first NBA title. Aside from Jordan, all Bulls players were drafted or acquired by Krause, proving his decision-making and roster building to be successful. The very next year, in 1992, the Bulls won the title again, but Jordan's beef with Krause was still going strong. After the season, Michael and Scotty were part of the Dream Team at the Olympics in Barcelona. And while the rest of the team only had one goal, to win a gold medal, Pippen and Jordan had ulterior motives. They wanted to destroy Toni Kukoc. Kukoc was drafted by the Bulls in 1990, but he chose to stay in Europe, where he kept winning EuroLeague titles. And before the Olympics, Krause kept raving about Kukoc and his skills, which pissed off Jordan and Pippen. Because they felt Kukoc was Krause's boy, they wanted to annihilate him. With an angry Jordan and Pippen guarding him, Kukoc finished the game with just 4 points.
Nah, shit is crazy. Anyone that this man Jerry Krause liked, Jordan was coming for that guy head, bro. Kukoc or that Brand Sellers nigga, bro. It's like, damn. Jordan like, bro, I'm gonna cook this nigga that you praise, bro. I'm gonna cook him.
Just 4 points on 2 for 11 shooting and 7 turnovers. After the Olympics in 1993, the Bulls won their 3rd consecutive championship.
3-time NBA World Champion Chicago Bulls. Congratulations. It's a great accomplishment.
After which Jordan retired and joined a minor league baseball team. Kukoc joined the Bulls after he left and immediately proved that Krause was right once again. Krause also added Steve Kerr to the team,
Yeah,
who had been
Kukoc
looked
was
over
good.
by every GM in the NBA because of his size. But Krause rightfully believed that he was the best shooter in the league. In
Oh,
1994, Krause traded for another virtual nobody in Luke Longley and signed unrestricted free agent Ron Harper, both of which proved to be huge additions to the Bulls. Jordan returned in 1995.
Superstar Michael Jordan is back in the game, and he'll play with the Bulls later today.
It seemed like Jerry
Because of
Krause
the
is like a
departure of Horace
gold ass
Grant, Chicago
scout
had no
though.
interior
He know how to
presence
find
and
talent.
lost to Shaq and Orlando in the second round of the
It
90s.
seemed like he know how to find talent. He just bad at like managing players, like personalities and shit.
Grant, Chicago had no interior presence and lost to Shaq and Orlando in the second round of the 95 playoffs. Next season, Krause decided to battle that problem by trading for Dennis Rodman, who was unwanted by most of the NBA due to his
Bro, that's
volatile
wild.
behavior.
The Bulls
Dennis
announced the
was
acquisition of
wild.
a player many people consider the most controversial basketball star in the NBA.
And once
Hey, he
again,
did his
Krause
job,
was
though.
right. Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, Kukoc, Harper, Kerr, and Longley won an NBA record 72 games in the regular season, and then dominated the playoffs to win their fourth NBA championship. In 1997, Chicago won again, and up until then,
Another
Krause's
three-peat,
moves
man.
almost always panned out and made the team better. But then the real problems started, and the Bulls GM made his first big mistake. Krause's relationship with Phil Jackson deteriorated. Jerry
Yeah.
was mad at Phil for not defending him when Michael trash-talked Krause in front of everybody. Krause was a guy who believed in loyalty and who believed that Phil owed him everything since he gave him the Bulls job. And when Jackson laughed at one of Jordan's jokes about Krause, Jerry was disgusted with Phil. Krause wanted to replace Jackson after 1997.
This will be Phil's last year as the coach of the Bulls. At the conclusion of the year, we'll look towards the future.
But then
See, I get Krause's perspective about how Phil didn't stand up for him, but then it's like you can't have your emotions started dictating the business and shit. Like Phil, like legit just came up winning 2 chips, bro. Like he just came up winning 2 chips. How the hell are you going to fucking just say this is last year? Like he legit just came up winning 2 chips. Like take your personal feelings out of it. Just like you know fucking live with it, bro. Like bro, you getting your ass cut. Jordan don't fuck with you. And it's like bro, if he laughing at a joke, bro, he laughing at a joke. Like bro, you made your bed and you laid in it, bro. Like bro, you was shitting on Jordan earlier on like crazy. Like crazy, bro. Like you doing shit behind his back and all this other shit, bro. Like bro, you made your bed, lay in it, nigga. You getting your ass cut. Jordan don't fuck with you, but it's like, bro, he not complaining again to the owner like before. So it's like, bro, he just gonna cut your ass now. Like it is what it is. Like bro, y'all both just hate each other, bro.
was disgusted with Phil. Krause wanted to replace Jackson after 1997.
This will be Phil's last year as the coach of the Bulls.
Like
At the
what,
conclusion of the year, we'll look towards the future.
bro?
But then
Man
the
came
owner,
off a chip,
Reinsdorf,
bro.
intervened, and Krause reluctantly offered Phil an extension, but only for 1 year.
Bulls owner
1
Jerry
year is
Reinsdorf
crazy,
has finally
bro.
come to his senses, signing Phil Jackson to a 1-year deal to return as coach next season.
Before the start of the 98 season, Krause told the media that he didn't care if the Bulls won 82 games and the title, that Phil Jackson would not return as head coach.
That makes no
Krause
sense,
also made
bro.
a remark about his impact on the team, famously saying,
I do sincerely believe that organizations as a whole win.
this statement particularly
Letting
made
his
Jordan angry
emotions,
because
man.
he was the one scoring all the points, while this 5'6", 220-pound guy never even played basketball. On top of the problems he had with MJ and Phil, Krause also had to deal with Pippen. In 1991, after their first championship, Scottie signed a 7-year deal
yeah,
worth
they did him
$19 million,
dirty.
about $2.7 million per
Did Scottie
year.
dirty.
While the Bulls were winning their titles, Pippen was not even among the 100 highest-paid players in the NBA.
Pippen is as underpaid gets, only the 122nd highest paid player in the league.
Scottie was extremely disappointed and wanted a big raise, but Krause didn't want to give it to him. So Scottie boycotted the start of the 98 season, opting to rehab a foot injury at the start of the season and not during the summer.
Pippen is now demanding a trade, and he says he will not return from the injured list until he is gone from Chicago.
Throughout that season, Jordan kept saying that he'd retire if Jackson wasn't the head coach of the Bulls, and that he wouldn't play for anybody else.
As it may be, I have choices, and I will not choose to play for another coach.
Despite all the turmoil, the Bulls still managed to win the 98 championship, highlighted by Jordan's shot over Byron Russell.
Bang. On net.
However, Krause kept his promise, and Jackson was gone.
Like that's so dumb off a chip. It's like, bro, that's absurd.
And made it official. After 9 years and 6 NBA titles, he is done as the Bulls coach.
And so is Michael, who retired for the second time. In the Last Dance documentary, Jordan heavily criticized Krause for blowing up the Bulls, feeling that they had another championship run in them.
We're entitled to defend what we have until we lose it.
Hey, I don't blame him. I don't
Krause
blame
was
Jordan.
never complimented for building a championship roster and finding talent where others didn't. In 2009, during his Hall of Fame
find
speech,
the talent.
Jordan again reiterated how much he hated Krause and never thanked him for helping the
Bro, that's
Bulls
his
win.
top op,
You know,
man.
Jerry Krause is right there, and Jerry's not here. I don't know who invited him. I didn't.
In all honesty, this was very unfair. But hey, that's MJ for you. While Krause definitely had his flaws.
Why I say that's unfair? Bro, I don't know if it's unfair because the way Jerry Krause was talking to Jordan earlier on, like, bro, you Bulls probably is crazy and doing so much shit behind Jordan back and shit is wild. Like I'm not sure if that's unfair. Sure, you gotta give Jerry Krause his credit and shit for, like, you know, scouting and building a team. But it's like the way how he managed the players and shit, and like the way how he managed players' emotions and shit like that is fucking not good. Like, bro, it was terrible. Like, and then it's like with Scotty, like, how you don't want to pay Scotty like that, like, that's fucking insane. And then you saying this Phil Jackson last year just coming off a chip, like, what, bro? Like, bro, you bringing your personal emotion into this shit, bro. Into this shit. And bro, even though Michael Jordan had to deal with your ass as a fucking GM, he still got on the court and did his job. Okay? And this man, he did his job too, but it's like towards the end he started fumbling the fucking bag. He started fumbling the fucking, how don't you fucking extend Phil Jackson, bro? Like, bro, like, how do you not extend Phil Jackson and fucking not appease your best player, one of the best players on the fucking planet, and Michael Jordan, bro? Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, bro, that's fucking crazy.
In all honesty, this was very unfair. But hey, that's MJ for you. While Krause definitely had his
It's
flaws,
unfair, but it's
especially
understandable,
his people
though.
skills and dealing with the media, it's undeniable that he was one of the best general managers in NBA history. Dynasties can happen without
true.
great scouting and team-friendly contracts.
That is true.
Without Pippen, Rodman, Kukoc, and others, MJ would still be a great player, but he probably wouldn't have 6 rings.
Maybe. But that is true. You do need team-friendly contracts. But it's like you can't have, like, the second best player that's so essential to your team be like one of the bottom, like, underpaid players in the NBA. Like, that's fucking insane. But it's like, hey, man, I understand Jordan hate, though. And because in the beginning, Jerry Krause was going crazy, bro. Bro, saying you Bulls property is wild, bro. Like that I can't get over, bro. Like, saying that you Bulls property is fucking insane, bro. It's fucking insane. And then fucking trading away his friends and shit. And it's like, bro, not talking to your best player on your team, bro. Like, the person who's literally carrying your team on their back. Like, you're not going to talk to them about anything, about any of the moves that you're going to make or nothing. Like, that's tough. That's bad. But as a scout for talent and shit, Jerry Krause seemed like he's the GOAT because he was making all the right moves. To build the fucking dynasty. So shout out to him. But the way how he, like, you know, handle personalities and shit didn't seem that good. It seemed fucking terrible. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, like, comment, subscribe, suggest anything else to interact to, you know, down below in the comments. But check out the next one.